Around 10 years ago, in Nigeria, violent terrorist action started. The northeast of the nation and other neighboring countries were drawn into the problem. During the conflict, 30,000 people were killed and millions were displaced. And of course, I'm talking about Boko Haram. So what is Boko Haram all about? Boko Haram, all started by Muhammad Yusuf, who hated the West, considering their government were corrupted and non-Islamic. The first uprising happened in 2009 when Boko Haram staged a failed military action against the Nigerian government. 800 people were killed and many of their members were arrested. Muhammad Yusuf was also killed in the police custody. Just the next year after the uprising, Abu Bakr Shekau announced that he was the new leader of Boko Haram. Between the period of 2013 to 2015, Boko Haram killed more than 25,000 people within this short period of time, which apparently the deadliest period of Boko Haram. Unfortunately, in the northern town of Chikbu, 2014, a year when the world became seriously outraged because a vast amount of Nigerians' human rights were violated. This terrorist crime is a kidnapping of 276 schoolgirls. Although numbers of them were released, more than 100 of them are still missing. With that being said, this leads to continuous criticism of the Nigerian military for their failure to free those kidnapped kids. At the same time, the shifting strategy of Boko Haram, for example, the use of female suicide bomber, had made it hard for the Nigerian military to pin down. After 2015, Boko Haram's activity had been greatly suppressed. In 2016, Boko Haram has decided to form alliance with outside force, ISWAP, to strengthen their power. However, allying with ISWAP has split up Boko Haram into two groups. Abu Bakr Shekau still remains in control of faction known as JAS, while the ISWAP still focus on winning heart and mind of communities in the territory it controls. On the government response side, the topic can be divided into two time periods, which is before 2015 and after 2015. So first, before 2015, the Nigerian government's response to Boko Haram was a mess and highly unsatisfied the Nigerians. Yet, the response of Nigerian state until 2015 oscillated between neglect of the problem and heavy-handed counterinsurgency measures that exhibit little distinction between Boko Haram fighters and the population who have had endured its rule. As mentioned, between 2013 to 2015, it was the most devastated period, especially in 2014. It was called as the deadliest terrorist incident, where caused 6,644 deaths in a year. These above reflect the passive attitude of the Nigerian government, where they seem to not care about the chaotic wars that are happening literally within the nation. Although militants were sent to control the situation, the troops' number and power were much lower than the terrorists.
But this threat didn't appear in a vacuum. The Nigerian government has played its part in the ongoing violence, particularly thanks to its lack of a sustainable security strategy.
Under the long-term struggle of the Nigerians and the pressure from the world after the incident of schoolgirls being kidnapped, the government finally realized the urgency to suppress the violence in the northeast of Nigeria. Boko Haram had pressured the state to focus more on the professionalism of its security forces. The security forces of Nigeria were so weak and fragile that Boko Haram's expansion had become mostly successful. The strengthening of Nigerian military had become a primary issue in 2015 after the government realized how much deaths and displacements of innocents were counted before the year. As a result, the year 2015 marked a significant turning point for Boko Haram. Between 2015 and 2017, the military campaign's effectiveness improved, and the Nigerian government was able to recapture territory from Boko Haram, causing the group to retreat to more remote places. Boko Haram lost nearly all its territory in a 5-month period in 2015 due to the military and military pressure. Yet, the Nigerian military has struggled to maintain effective control over retaken territory. Lower-scale Boko Haram attacks continue, exposing Nigerian government's weak claims that Boko Haram has crushed technically. In 2019, Nigerian authorities have won various battles against Boko Haram, but they have not won the peace. Nigeria's Army Chief of Staff recently admitted that Boko Haram and allies cannot be defeated by kinetic military warfare alone. The gains made by the insurgency in 2019 and the rising recognition among Nigerian political circles that the battle will not be over anytime soon present a window of opportunity for authorities to reset public expectation and implement needed reforms.